When you see somebody that you haven't seen in a while, you go in and passing, hey, how's it going? And maybe you don't even know them, how's it going? They're like, okay, good. But could you imagine what that person would do if you were like, well, how's it going? You know what? It's not going well at all. Like, wait, what? Oh no, I wasn't expecting that. I was hoping this would just be something very simple. We could just casually walk through, hey, and keep it going, right? Because to ask the question why actually means you actually have to take the time to do what? Care. So we started the Delta Project because we recognized and realized that although the juvenile justice system is, working really hard to support and change some of the trajectory as it relates to how families are seen in that system, we wanted to do something more. We wanted to find a way to really partner and walk alongside young people as they return home. We wanted to find a way to encourage them to tell their stories and that their stories mattered. And so the Delta Project is really about helping young people find their niche in a world and a community in which they live in. One of the things that we saw very early on is that young people were saying, I don't know how to become something I don't see. So it's great that you're talking about all these programs, but if I don't see someone that looks like me doing the stuff that you're talking about, if they're not supporting me, if they're not walking beside me, if I leave the detention center on probation and I don't have anybody that I can call on, then how does this help, right? Our goal is to help find people that young people can see themselves in. And so for us, it's really about making sure that young people see themselves through the mentors and that mentors have an opportunity to see themselves through the young people that they interact with too. Asking the why. To ask the question why requires you to investigate and then partner along whoever you're asking that with to do something about it. If I don't ask why, then I never have the responsibility of sharing in the load with the other people that are experiencing the challenges. If you don't ask the question why, you're going to see the school to prison pipeline grow. When you don't ask why in the juvenile justice system, you'll start to see a disproportionate number of Black and brown people in vulnerable communities entering into spaces that they shouldn't be in. If you don't ask the questions why, you're going to see vulnerable parents struggle even more, partly because we're not asking the question why. Asking why means you might have to look at reimagining what your resources are. And so why is a difficult question to ask because it then puts some of the weight on you. Or it may just help expose that you really don't care. That could be happening right down the street from me, 3 houses down, but that's not happening in my front yard. That's not happening in my home. So why should I care about this school to prison pipeline? That's not happening to my children. So no resources? Get a job. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. That's what I did. You talked about there's no fathers. Well, that's why. Figure that out. You guys will be okay after that, right? And so it's this idea that I did it, so you should all be able to do it too. Because I've already had my preconceived notions and ideas around why this is happening. And that's just not how this works. When we talk about equity, when we talk about diversity and inclusion, for some people, those are just buzzwords. But for young people I serve that come from the communities that I come from, this is life. And those quote unquote, what you would call buzzwords, can be the changing of a trajectory for them to have an amazing life. But for other people, that doesn't matter. When we started the Delta Project, it was really about that, asking the why. And then being prepared for what you were going to hear once you heard the why. And also being prepared with the fact that you might not have the answer. But guess what you can do? You can use your resources and your networks to help find the why. And I think that's the part that we all can share in. Children need us to ask the why. Even if they don't have the answer, asking the why at least lets them know that we see them.